Hi, welcome to Installer Live 2020, talking about trends for 2021. Here we have a great discussion for you with two installers out in the field who really share the same frustrations that you may do. How can you grow your business in 2021? Whether it be to be able to compete with the bigger installation companies, or whether you just want to reduce your administration time or generate leads. We'd hear from two fantastic installers in the field, Paul Randall and Aidan Murphin, on the frustrations that they have and their ideas for the future. We also talked with Tom Hood, our sales director, on a brand new offering from ADEY. ADEY Business Tools is a variety of digital options that you can use to help grow your business, including service plans, online quoting tools, and much, much more. So I hope you enjoy.
So what I really wanted to ask you to start off with was how you generate your leads. Do you, obviously, Paul, you said you get a lot of your business through word of mouth, but in terms of new business and I guess repeat business from loyal customers, you know, is it mostly through face-to-face interaction, or do you generate any leads through your website?
Well, I use the website and I also use obviously social media a lot. At the end of the day, I'm a gas engineer, so I find it very difficult to, I try my best to do some fancy designs using Canva and things like that. I love Canva, but it's hard. It's really hard to generate those leads. And for me personally, I don't know how you find it. I mean, obviously having someone in the office helps, but the hardest thing is that I can sit down at night time, I can generate some nice pretty things on Facebook, I can obviously have someone do a nice website for me, you know, the branding I thought of myself and everything, so me, you know, some things I took from the company I previously worked with. But for me, it's answering the phone and replying back to those customers. You know, when you're a one-man band and you're upside down in the loft, you know, with water running down your arms, trying to sort a problem out, you don't have time to answer the phone, and that could be your next job.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's like, from talking to other installers as well, I think this is a pretty common problem. I mean, if you're an expert in heating and plumbing systems, and then all of a sudden you're a sole trader and you've got to be like a lawyer and a marketer and an accountant, and it's really hard to do.
I've just signed up with an accountant, and it's really funny because the first thing she said was, "Oh yeah, simply send me an email." And I said, well, I can't at the moment. I'm in a loft with a head torch on, and it's, you know, I can't. So that was hard. But yeah, I'm learning that there are things that I need to do and get on board with companies like ADEY. You know, there are people out there that can help and give us advice as well, which is brilliant.
Yourself, Aidan, how's the leads get qualified and generated by yourself?
Pretty much from day one, 10 years ago, there's always been two real different sides to the business: is the letting agent side and the private side. The letting agents that have grown relationships over the years have been fantastic for us, and they rely on us heavily, so that work just comes to us. I feel really fortunate to have that, but I do work hard to maintain it, and it's really stressful as well. It's very, very reactive, you know, can be 24 hours a day as well. So our private work, I think I would say it's 75% local, small publication driven, bit of Facebooking, bit of internet, bit of Google. We do okay with the website, but it's not a brilliant stream for us. We tend to find as soon as someone's searching for our services on the internet, I tend to find that we're instantly being compared to bigger engines and boxed and things like that, and it all becomes very price driven straight away.
I'm really interested in that, Aidan, with respect to people that are then going on your website. You talked earlier around a lot of your leads that come through that end up being work is through the traditional methods in the local press, the local magazines. But is there anything you think we could support you with from a digital point of view moving forward?
Digitally, I think I'd take any support I can get, to be honest. I think if we can try and qualify our leads before I'm spending too much time on them from the digital side, then it would really incentivize me to use it more. You know, you can generate all the leads in the world online. It's really easy to generate leads. You can boost posts, you can do so much about it, but all that, there's a real potential to turn yourself into a bit of a busy fool. So, I'm really careful with how much I create at the minute, but if those leads were pre-qualified, then not pre-qualified, but there was a bit of qualification to them, then I'd be far more incentivized. To
really interesting balance, Paul. You mentioned earlier about how you're on your own at the moment, but you're looking to expand, and how do you do that in a modern world? Yes, you've got traditional methods, which word of mouth, traditional magazines will still always have a place, but then this digital world that I think that's where ADEY can really assist you guys with, from the social side, from getting your message, amplifying your message, is somewhere where I really think we can help moving forward.
It's interesting because with modern technology, it definitely helps. I mean, I'm using Powered Now, which we take photographs whilst we're servicing, and that's been an absolute genius piece of kit, because obviously with my pro checks as well, we've got digital certificates, we've got digital landlord certificates, which we can email to multiple different places. During COVID, it's been absolutely brilliant because we've been able to, go out to properties, do our CP12s, and then not even, make contact with the landlords, and they're really happy because they can see what's going on. So with the webs and everything else and the quotes and stuff, it could almost do a tool where we could do something like that, because I've done a few sort of FaceTime calls to customers when they wanted quotes for things and stuff like that. And half the time, we know, because we've seen hundreds and hundreds of properties, and we pretty much know roughly what the price is going to be. We just want to see a little bit more, I don't know, some kind of structure where, some questionnaire or something they can go through. I don't know, because I'm not IT.
We've been talking to a company called TrueQuote, and TrueQuote is a piece of software that you can insert into your website, and it will then take the consumer, the homeowner, through around half a dozen pre-qualifying questions. In the background, before you go live on the website, you would put the products that you install, the boilers, the filters, the chemicals, the programmers. You will put packages together alongside the labour charge that you would like to charge for the job, and it's a real nice way to bolt it into your website. And then the homeowner, like I say, goes through some pre-qualifying questions, and at the end of it gives an indicative price of what it would cost. Now, that isn't a foolproof quote because you haven't done a site visit, but what it really does is give the homeowner some understanding of the products that you do sell and you do promote, and then gives them some guidance on what that price for the specific work. Now, it is still subject to qualifying for when you guys go on site. For example, a gas run's bigger than it would be, or the flue's in a different orientation to what they've said on the qualifying questionnaire. But would that be something that you'd be interested to really qualify the lead? Because the challenge when you're up in a loft, when you're trying to run a business with not as many people as you may or may not have at the minute, hopefully that could be a way to do half of the job for you.
Most definitely. I mean, the things with that sounds like a brilliant product, and that's the sort of thing that I would embrace tomorrow if I could bolt it in. But again, I'm a gas engineer, and as good as I can be on the tools, I'm not, a jack of all trades, master as none, they say. It's really difficult to obviously for me, I don't know anything about putting it into the website and all that sort of stuff. So this is where ADEY can help us.
And what we're doing
and things like that.
Yeah, and what we're doing with things like this, like ADEY Business Tools, and everything we bolt into that is really designed to be as easy as possible, because we've been talking to you and others, and we're starting to, we understand what the problem is. So everything that we're doing, we're really trying to make it as easy as possible so that you can grow your business, but it's not adding admin or extra stress or time, or you have to understand legalese to be able to do it. It's designed to help you grow your business while you're still in a loft under a sink, whatever. So yeah, no, that sounds really positive.
And I'd really like to talk about the servicing world now, gents. So talk me through what a classic traditional service. Aidan, over to you first. Just give us a flavour of roughly how much you're charging per service, and what that looks like from some of your landlord work and maybe some of your private work as well.
So we charge £60 for a service. Basically, that's inclusive of VAT. That's generally pretty competitive in our area. We always kind of stipend that with a look. This is more of a safety check, and if the customer's going to need a new condense trap or a new set of electrodes or a new G10 seal or anything along those lines, that's all going to be extra. The service is getting us out there, checking it's safe, flue gas analysis, it's fine, we'll clean the condense trap out, we'll clean the sump out, but it is more of a safety check. So yeah, that's a service in the landlord world. It's pure safety. It's gas certs.
Is there any differences in the private residential market?
Yeah, I mean, we just try to go the extra mile for the private customers. It's not that we're not trying to go the extra mile with the landlords, but it's just volume. We're volume, and it is unfortunately price driven as well. With the landlords checks, a lot of them are on contract, and a lot of the properties, the boilers, they're not as you necessarily want them. It's not a new Worcester or a new Valent hanging on the wall. It can be, some of them can be a bit grotty. So,
Paul, I'm really interested. We spoke before we got onto the webinar this evening that you've already took from your previous existence at British Gas for 21 years. When you went self-employed in August 2019, you embraced on-site water testing, and how have you then taken your service into the next level now?
Well, I charge £65 for an annual service, and that includes a free water quality test. In the past, I was using I won't use the F word, but we were posting it off, which was taking extra time, so there was a bit of a faff around. But then obviously ADEY ProCheck came out, which gave me the ability to do on-site testing. So, we use digital certificates using Powered Now. So everything we do is emailed with photographs, and ADEY ProCheck just makes us that much sharper and more professional when we're doing services. So far, the customers absolutely love it. I've seen a 70% increase in inhibitor sales, as well as increase in magna cleansing and power flushing, because obviously we're having the conversations. Things we do, I mean, at British Gas, we used to always walk the system to check for water leaks, things that would basically cause a problem for customers. And I've always embraced exactly the same, doing those checks. We don't just walk in and look at the boiler. We'll walk the system and look at the radiators. We'll use thermal image cameras if necessary to identify, we'll do a pro check, and then if it comes back as a pass and yet the radiators aren't working properly, sometimes it just needs balancing, in which case we can charge there and then to obviously rebalance the system, which can address a lot of problems.
Paul, what I'd really like to get both Aidan and Paul your opinion is, how do we think collectively we can take your offering to your homeowners? You'll have a variant number of homeowners on your database now, but how do we think that, based on both of your previous experience in the large blue chip company that you used to work for, how can we really take your offering to your customers in partnership with ADEY to the next level?
I think for me, it's advertising. I mean, when I look at my Facebook reviews and I speak to my customers and I find them all talking about me, hands down, without a doubt. I mean, pricing does come into it, but at the end of the day, if you're offering a service, as I like to call it, it's a proper service, people will pay that. I mean, some of the larger companies, they're charging a lot more money than we are, and they're in and out in 30 minutes. They're not doing half the checks that we know they should be doing, because they're time driven. I find that all of my customers, they want, they like to employ the local man. They like to have, me come around because they feel they're helping me out, which is great. So if I can provide them with a level of service that they like and they're happy with, it's great. But for me, it's just getting that word out there to say, hey, here I am. This is what I do.
Aidan?
I think potentially, it's the sell, it's the here I am. Paul, as you said, I echo all that definitely. I think that there's got to be something from our perspective as well that quantifies the value of this to the customer, whether it's some dual branding, whether it's, I don't know, ADEY doing more consumer focused advertising, and then the installer, you know, becomes attached to that. I feel like the customer needs to know that what we're telling them is exactly, you know, gospel and the truth. I think it's
a really interesting point, Aidan, that when you work at ADEY, when you try and educate on water treatment, you can't see it until it's too late. Sludge is inside the radiators, but then unfortunately it plugs up the boiler, and hopefully ProCheck, Paul, as you eloquently you talked through there, that ProCheck's giving you that ability to showcase to a customer what the problem is, and then the lead generated that can be to do the remedial action. It may or may not have a filter on the system. It may or may not have chemical in the system. If it's really, really bad, then it may need a MagnaCleanse. I just want you to picture a home cover plan style. You both do a lot of servicing, but if we could work in partnership with you guys to be able to offer the terms and conditions, the security, the platform for you guys to be able to offer monthly reoccurring service plans, is that something that you'd be interested in?
Oh, definitely. It's something I looked at when I left British Gas, and obviously British Gas. I'm sorry to bang on about them, but they're well known, and we all know the different tiers that they offer. But for me, the biggest stumbling block, I'd love to be able to say to customers, "Yeah, don't worry, just pay £10 a month, and we'll do X, Y, Z, and cover you for this, and we'll maybe even put a filter in." I don't know. There's different tiers we could maybe offer, but for me, it's the FCA that that dreaded, oh my gosh, how do I get involved in this, and the organisation of debits and control. I mean, it's bad enough being a sole trader with the paperwork, let alone trying to, how do I advertise that? How do I monitor it, police it? It's really difficult.
It's a really good point, Paul. The FCA license, the world of finance can be a scary thing. We're part of the business tools and part of the development of ADEY as we move forward. We are looking to onboard finance partners and partners that can get you through your FCA license. Definitely, if you want to be able to offer finance in the marketplace. The really good news is we've partnered with a company called Trade Help that are well established in the industry, and we've worked with them to create the bespoke service plans. And the really nice element, Paul, is it's all through Go Cardless, so that then doesn't require an FCA license. So essentially, what ADEY have created is the platform, the online platform, all of the terms and conditions, and then 6 really basic plans. Interesting, you say a plan may or may not have a filter on it. We've got the concept of a very basic plan that can be a boiler service plus a system health check or a system performance check done every year, which is ProCheck, all the way through to full cover. And then we have the monitoring plans, which links into the Pro 3 Sense, which gives you the ability to retrofit a Pro 3 if it hasn't already got one on the system, connect that filter to the homeowner and to yourself, and then offer that real premium. And think of your British Gas days back to the boiler IQ and the premium element of preventative maintenance. We've had the Pro 3 out for a number of months now, but we've got the package now to go with it, with a monitoring plan that you can offer to your homeowners, that monthly security, the annual service, the annual performance check, alongside 24/7 monitoring of their health, of their heating system.
That's really interesting. I don't know how you feel, Aidan, but I mean, the one concern I would have is obviously it's not a maintenance package where people can pay so much a month, and the likes of the companies will come out all through the year no matter what, and obviously they've got the support and the amount of engineers to do that. My concern there is that what would we be offering, and obviously the pricing structure is key, because there are customers that wouldn't want to pay £50 a month for a contract where obviously all that basically did was we monitor the system, when they can pay 30 quid a month, and obviously if it breaks down they come out 24/7 and fix it.
I think it's a really good point, because that can scare a lot of businesses, like it would it would naturally. The entry plans are a gas boiler service plus a system performance check annually. That's it. So one of the big drivers for this is we have boilers now that the condensing boilers are between 90 and 93% efficient. They're fantastic, and the upgrade that we've done since 2005 to get the energy efficiency is fantastic. The reality is, if an A-rated boiler goes onto a sludged up system, that can go from a band E to a band A to a band E boiler within a week. So we've really got to drive that behavioural change of not only have we got the energy efficiency of the boiler, but we have the ability now to look at the energy efficiency of the system. And this is what ProCheck hopefully allows you to do. And linking into the service plan offering, you've got an annual gas safety check alongside the system performance check. And it's really goes back to your point earlier, Aidan, about how do we get the message through you guys to the homeowner for them to understand it and really add value into protecting boilers, upgrading heating systems, and making them run as efficiently as they can. So to put any concerns to hopefully to bed, yes, you can offer full system care if you want. We felt we needed to build that in, but at the very entry level of the packages, you've got boiler service plus system performance check. If you want to monitor it remotely, retrofit of a Pro 3 Sense filter, annual service plus system health check plus 24/7 remote monitoring, which is what the Pro 3 will do for no extra work for you guys. So from a consumer point of view, they've got the security that you've done the job right here, but then you are going to monitor the health of that heating system for the year that you're not there. It's not going to cost you guys any money apart from having your phone in your pocket and making sure if a system does start to cause any issues and you get an alert and the Pro 3 is saying that there's an issue, that's when we can proactively go out and look before it's too late, before the magnet's bypassed and the boiler's blocking up through sludge. So yes, Paul, I think it's a really valid point, but hopefully with the plan number one, plan number two, that should really just link into the role that you're already doing with servicing boilers and servicing systems, but make it that bit more professional for you.
Absolutely. And I think what we've tried to do when building ADEY Business Tools, which I know we've mentioned a couple of times, but it's basically going to be a package of tools that are available to ADEY Pro Club members. It will be launching early next year, but we're going to start talking about it. So you'll hear an awful lot about it because we're going to shout about it, because we really believe that it's a way that as a manufacturer, we can help installers like you grow your business with ease. For us, obviously, not all of the tools will be right for everyone, but we've really tried to cover all the bases so that, like Tom said, with the service plans element, there's that very basic element, but also for people that want to offer that little bit more, you can also offer that little bit more. But ultimately, what we want to do is help you generate more leads, help you generate quality leads, help you win more business, but without having to answer the phone all the time and risk losing everything. That's really what ADEY Business Tools is about.
I think it's
helping you grow.
That, Charlotte, with ADEY Business Tools, I think if we do our job right, we can help you guys raise quality in everything that you do, be able to articulate that message to a homeowner, the quality standards that you guys want to. And you've both made a couple of points of, it's not easy running your own business. It's not easy if you're a one-man band. It's not easy if you've got 5 or 6 guys working with you. Our belief as a business, if we can create them business tools to make your life easier, to be able to raise your quality standards in the market, then the byproduct of that is that's going to help you qualify, quantify, and drive sales leads all the way through your business.
I think one good thing is I went on the ADEY training course, which I have to say, obviously having a background of British Gas, we were given good training. The ADEY course opened my eyes even, to some of the things we can do. And that was just, if anybody's not done that, I would highly recommend trying to get on the ADEY training course. But is there any way you could maybe incorporate that into like a standard? Because obviously we all talk about standards and professionalism. There's always different grades of engineers with different skills, and some, you know, they're obviously still learning and things. So can ADEY do something, maybe like have an ADEY trained installer scheme, where obviously when we attend these courses, you maybe give us a certificate or something that we can advertise ADEY approved or ADEY trained installer?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, go on, Tom.
It's a fantastic idea, Paul, and it's definitely something that's on our roadmap. It's something we're very passionate about. We talk about our training division. One thing that not everybody knows is training and sales are linked to ADEY, and it's a huge passion of mine personally, but as a business, to drive education first and foremost, which then drives quality, which then raises everybody's standards. And hopefully with our Sense products, we've also got the products to bring to market. And I think the missing link, genuinely, the missing link was the business tools to bring it all together. So to make your life easier, to be able to wrap it into a service plan with the products, with a service plan, with some consumer messaging from Charlotte, all of a sudden we've got a package that we can pick up, drop your logo onto, and then you can put it in front of your customer to really go with a strong consumer message.
That service plan sounds like something that I'm hugely interested in. It seems to me that it's just a real good way to keep hold of those customers. Yeah. The dream, obviously, is to contact every boiler you've installed every year for a service for as long as you're going, and that's your, you know, that's your retirement fund, hopefully. But the real world is so tricky, you know, with especially such seasonal business with the reactive work we do. You know, it's very easy to say, oh, I'll give those block of services, I'll push them back a month. Or if it was all structured and tied up into a service plan, and we can, you know, perhaps try and orientate our year a little bit more around that. Let's try and pull some of those services forward to the summer. Let's have it sewn up in a contract where, you know, it's automatically contacting those people. I think that sounds absolutely fantastic.
It's a really valid point, actually, Aidan, that I think every gas engineer up and down the country likes the summer servicing work, the money that's generated in them months. But wouldn't it be lovely to flatline that across 12 months, raise it maybe up a couple of pounds with a more premium service? And then, for example, if you're charging £9.99 a month for a gas service plus an annual performance check, you've got that £9.99 times the amount of customers you've got on there, and that's steady, constant flow. And yeah, we're in the middle of lockdown 2 in a global pandemic, and if we'd have had that service plan set up, you'd have continued having them 9.99s rolling through. So it gives you that security and that foundation to really drive. Yeah. And we've talked about Netflix, we've talked about Apple Music, all the reoccurring things that are happening around us. Hopefully with the ADEY service plans that we can partner with you guys, that'll give you the ability to offer that to your customers and give you that security, yeah, really make the most of the database that you've got, Aidan. Great point.
You just let me know where I can sign up right now, and I'll gladly take that on.
That's where the link's supposed to come now, Paul, but no, we haven't.
Is it the pop-up?
Is the technical answer. So yeah, imminent.
Yeah.
Sorry, just as another thought on that, you know, as a sales tool, something that's popped into mind straight away for our boiler swaps, if you know, we do try and market ourselves as like a premium service for the boiler swaps. We do it right. We do flush it. We do fit the filters. We do, you know, everything that we can to make it as good as possible. It'd be good from the scheme, the servicing plan that you're offering, is if we can maybe, I don't know how it would work, but if there was maybe a way of incorporating the first year of that as, you know, part of the package, and then it automatically kicks in at month 13 and they're paying us. You know, we turn up a year later, we've incorporated that year of the monitoring system for free, or built into the price of the boiler, and then automatically month 13 that's kicking in, and we know that because they've had it for that year, we've given them a call at month 8, it needs a bit more inhibitor, they're going to want to keep that going. So from a
I think
perspective.
that's a really good point, because everybody intrinsically thinks of servicing of you've got to look at your database of the boilers you've already installed. The reality of these very simple plans is that it's a boiler service and a system performance check annually. So from them 50, 100, 200 boilers that you might be fitting per annum, you can sign these guys up straight away. As we all know, you need to service the boiler annually to validate the next year's warranty for all the boiler guys now anyway. So it's a perfect way. And I think that idea there, Aidan, is a fantastic one. I think that's something that we'd have to review. It may well be a commercial decision for you to take that on. So you'd build that into your quote, and then you'd pay the $7, $8, $9.99 a month out of your own. But the really cool thing is you can build it into your price today, but then you've only got to pay it off, and you could finance that that initial year, because you're right, that retention of customer, that habit of getting your customer, we will all have at least 2 or 3 direct debits that we probably should cancel because of direct debit, and so by definition, when you get into the habit and your customers get into the habit of paying $8.99 a month, they will continue to do that.
Yeah,
As long as you can build enough value into it.
It's the perception that it's less expensive because you're paying for it monthly, isn't it? That's what I get hooked into all the time.
How would the leads be generated? Because obviously the one thing which would be really good is if ADEY had a site where customers would obviously click and you did all the admin, and then basically you would just contact us and say, hey Paul, do you want this customer? I'll be like, yeah, thank you, I'll have that.
You've got to do a little work, Paul.
Yeah, it was worth a try.
Do the tours, get the leads. I'll get the tools back out of the van if you want, Paul. It's fine.
If you could, that would be great. I'll show you how to do it.
I think this is all about a journey we've got to start at ADEY and moving into the business tool world for the first time. We feel there's a niche in the market for us to really work with installers up and down the country around service plans, around making their website more powerful to generate leads. We'd love to go to the consumer. My personal view is we need to go through you guys to the consumer to start with. That's never saying never. But certainly as we sit here today, we did the sludge campaign earlier in the year, which was all of the tools to be able to articulate. You go back 10 years, we've got the demo jar that everybody knows and loves. You guys, when you're in your BG days, you used to use them. They're still around. They're still probably the best way to articulate what a magnet does with that black sludge. So it's all about starting on this journey. Hopefully you guys have seen enough tonight to really be able to see that we're really interested in what you guys need and want in the marketplace.
Yeah.
We think our part of the puzzle is to make your life as easy as possible to then really be able to bolster your business, but raise the consumer offering that you can go to market with. So it's not a no, Paul, but it's certainly
it's worth a try.
not going to be next year.
Don't ask, don't get, do you, Paul? That's that's perfect. I'm conscious of not keeping you all night, because I'm sure we can talk all night. So if I just end that there and say thanks very much for joining us, Paul and Aidan, and thank you everyone that's joined us to watch. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.